everybody, it's Dave Duford here at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producing insurance professionals. And today's topic is to give you 3 different strategies on how you can sell term life insurance. So the reason I'm putting this particular video together is to help you understand what I feel are the most common and most successful routes to sell term insurance. Term insurance is the most popular form of life insurance sold. Thousands of people potentially buy it every single day. And it's a huge market that you can jump into and tap into in a traditional sense, prospecting face-to-face. That's what mostly we'll be talking about today. Of course, you can sell over the phone. You can sell using the internet and then selling over the phones for sure. There's a lot of methods doing that. But today we're going to focus on what we can do on a face-to-face strategy to sell more term insurance. So let's talk about the first strategy, and that is mortgage protection. So let's first define mortgage protection, tell you how the LEAD program works as far as developing business, and then lastly, we'll talk about the kind of term insurance that's most commonly bought, because it's a little bit unique, I would say, for the mortgage protection versus some other lines that we'll discuss momentarily. So first of all, mortgage protection is a marketing term that describes a use that you can purchase term insurance for. Specifically, one of the biggest reasons why people buy term life insurance is to pay off final expenses or debts. And with mortgages being the biggest household debt that most Americans hold, it's a very common thought that people who just purchase a home want to make sure that debt is covered for. So many times when they purchase a new home and now they're in debt by several hundreds of thousands of dollars, they get mailers in the mail that express programs that will not only pay off the mortgage upon death, but also potentially pay living benefits. For example, if you get disabled or you become hurt and from a chronic illness or that kind of thing. So the concept here is that we are soliciting a group of people within what I call a window of opportunity. Once you go through one of these windows of opportunities, it turns out that the likelihood of someone buying life insurance is much higher. And in this case, when you go into big debt, whether it's a mortgage or a business loan, let's say, it's a great opportunity to convince someone to buy life insurance. So we're hitting them with this particular marketing strategy right at the cusp, right at the beginning of this concern. So the likelihood of buying is a lot higher. People are more open-minded to life insurance in general and are more likely to listen to you and potentially buy from you. So the way the LEAD program works for mortgage protection is a couple of different strategies you can utilize. Of course, you can do a direct mail program. Agents that sell direct or sell mortgage protection with me do a LEAD program in many circumstances because it helps us identify people who just closed on a home, and we hit people right into that opportunity to make a sale. And then also we'll target people who just filed for a home, but not through direct mail, where we'll teach an agent to go down to the courthouse, pull title records, and see where recent mortgage filings have been done. And we can collect all the same information that the direct mail card gets, and we actually can reach these people faster through a cold door knocking process. And the results are great. I've got an agent right now. He's in South Texas. He doesn't have the money to do direct mail for mortgage protection. He does this exact same method, and it takes him approximately 10 knocks to get a presentation, and about 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 actually buy. So yes, you got activity. Yes, you got to knock on doors, but it costs next to nothing to acquire that list, and the likelihood's fairly high that you're going to sell someone eventually who's interested in mortgage protection. Now, the kind of term insurance that people buy when we're looking at mortgage protection is normally what's called non-medical. It is a fully underwritten process where no examination is necessary. Most of the people who buy a term life insurance plan to protect their mortgage, in our market at least, may have a mortgage for several $100,000. It's not multi-millions in most cases. So many of the life insurance plans that term allows for under the $500,000 mark typically does not require an exam. It's not required. A lot of competition has come into the term markets as far as pricing and ease of use and using a term and getting applied or approved for a term insurance plan. So one of those is eliminating the fully underwritten process, which loses a lot of people. People don't want to do an exam. Plus, it takes a long time. There's a lot of things that go on, and there's a higher potential, arguably, for a rate up too as well. So what's nice about this style of term insurance is that when you sell it, you don't have to go back for an exam. Many times you can even get an instant decision if they're otherwise healthy, or it just takes a week to 2 weeks maximal to get a decision if there's nothing that's just crazy outstanding that you didn't expect. So if you like the idea of selling term insurance, mortgage protection is a great market to go into. There's a lot of opportunity. People are always buying homes in great markets and not so great either. And they're in that window of opportunity that's just so important to target them at. The second market you can also target is targeting business owners. So business owners, obviously, people who own businesses, and you can target large businesses, medium business, size businesses, small businesses. I prefer agents who are newer to selling life insurance to target small businesses to begin with, and then work into targeting medium and larger businesses as they gain experience dealing with a business market. The reason I like targeting small businesses for term insurance is because, first of all, small businessmen are usually more approachable than other large styles of business, meaning a lot of the times if you deal with a 5 or 10 man operation, you're not going to have a gatekeeper or a receptionist to deal with. Many times you can talk directly to the owner. A lot of these small business people never have a life insurance agent ever show up. Prior to me selling life insurance, I was a personal trainer. I would describe myself as the ideal prospect I'm talking about right now. I had one insurance man approach me over the course of 5 years. And guess what? I bought health insurance when he showed up because I really needed it. So that's what I'm saying, is that kind of business is sitting out there just waiting for somebody to take it if you'll just show up. And I've heard this time and time again with agents who sell to small business people about how little competition they have, as well as from business owners that just say they've never been approached by a life insurance agent, which is mind-blowing because there's a lot of other segments of the population that constantly get hit by life insurance agents. The other thing about small business owners is they don't have benefits. You know, they don't have an employee benefit plan. They don't get coverage from work, you know, like a large employer. They've got to self-insure, not just life insurance, but a lot of other insurance products too. And they appreciate people who have the balls to show up and talk to them unannounced, because they're in business too. They've got to sell on some level. All business owners have to. And a person who shows up and asks politely for some time to show them what you do, they're usually going to give you at least 30 seconds, 60 seconds just to hear you out, because they're fair people and understand that you're in business just as much as they are. And the thing is a lot of these small business owners make good incomes. They make above average income even if they run a small shop. And so the more income you have, typically the more demands for life insurance there are. And other insurance products too, like disability insurance, buy-sell agreements for life insurance to fund if you've got partnerships, that kind of thing. So the business market is fantastic. And you'll do a mix of non-medical term insurance, like I talked before, as well as fully underwritten too. Again, because the kind of business that you're doing is going to be more lucrative, I would think, than, say, working a blue or gray collar employee like you would in mortgage protection. Small business owners will probably require more fully underwritten products, more options as far as what's available, although you will write some non-med too, because a lot of these guys are just hard to pin down. They work all the time. They're hustling 70, 80 hours a week. And to do an exam, it may just be easier to do a non-medical application as well. The last market here as far as selling term insurance is using your warm market. So I wrote an article about this not too long ago about how you can prospect using your warm market. I did a video on how to do it the right way. And if you watch all this, it'll help set in your mind the right mindset of how to prospect in your warm market without never hearing from your friends or family again because you're annoying them to death. But the idea behind warm marketing is just you go to friends, family, your sphere of influence, and you ask for an opportunity just to show them what you do, not to buy, no obligation whatsoever, and then go through a fact finder to figure out where they stand. And then, hey, if they have a problem that your product can solve, you just show them what it is and allow them to make their mind up if it's something that actually is interesting to them. And so in your warm market, a lot of the people out there are going to buy term insurance. A lot of your friends and family, I promise you, are buying term insurance. And they usually just resort to buying it online or requesting an ad and having some person call them that they don't know, when most of these people would prefer to buy from somebody they already know, like, and trust. And that's where you come in. And so you have to remember this mindset when you go call on your sphere of influence, because you've got an opportunity to really help them out in a way that they cannot be helped otherwise. And again, most people just prefer to do business within the confines of people they already know versus inviting in a stranger that they may not have really any familiarity with. So bottom line, this is 3 methods that you can sell term life insurance on a face-to-face basis. There's more than this, but this is the 3 that I think that are potentially the most lucrative. And the key thing is to find one strategy and go all in on it. With the mortgage protection plan approach, you're going to probably you could mostly do direct mail. Some of you could do cold calling for sure. When it comes to business owners, most business owners, the best way to prospect them is to show up unannounced or possibly call to set appointments, or show up unannounced, collect some contact information, and keep dialing them until they agree to an appointment. Prospecting business owners cold is fantastic face-to-face. It works wonders. It's way, in some ways, I believe, way easier to do than calling on residential markets. And then the same thing for your warm market approach. These are people you already know. The likelihood is very high that people will agree to meet with you if you're just there to show them what you're doing, to just keep them informed on where you stand. And the likelihood's high that if there's a need, that they're going to buy from you instead of some stranger on the street. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com. I hope you enjoyed listening to this video. If you'd like to learn more about how my programs work, you can go to davidduford.com. And if you'd like to work with me, click the Join David's Insurance Agency link at the top of the page. That'll take you to a bunch of information on how I work with agents in the final expense, mortgage protection, annuity, and Medicare supplement spaces. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them below. Otherwise, thank you for your time and listening, and we shall see you next time. See ya.